All right, if you're deep in exam prep, you know that environmental policies are a huge deal. So today, we're going to deconstruct one of the most important ones for the NCR region, the Graded Response Action Plan, or as you'll see it everywhere, GRAP. Let's get right into it.
And look, this isn't some abstract concept from a textbook. It's happening in real time. This news report shows you exactly that. GRAP is a living, breathing response to a problem that's unfolding right now. The second the air quality starts to dip, this plan kicks in. But what exactly was the trigger this time?
Well, on Sunday, Delhi's Air Quality Index, or AQI, was at 296. That number puts it squarely in the poor category. So, that was the first red flag. But here's the kicker, and this is absolutely central to how GRAP works. The real trigger wasn't just the current number, it was the forecast. The authorities saw that the AQI was predicted to jump to 329, pushing the air into the very poor category. This proactive approach is the heart and soul of GRAP, and it's a huge point to remember for your exams.
So, here's our game plan for this explainer. We'll start with the problem. Then we'll get to know the GRAP framework inside and out. We're going to break down all 4 of its stages and then wrap it all up with a super handy list of key takeaways designed specifically for your revision.
First up, let's set the scene. Delhi's notoriously bad air quality and why a plan like this is so urgently needed.
Okay, so the main player here, the authority you absolutely have to remember, is the Commission for Air Quality Management, the CAQM. They're the ones keeping an eye on the forecasts, and they're the ones with the power to invoke the different stages of GRAP. Not just for Delhi, by the way, but for the whole national capital region. So we've seen the problem, now let's get into the solution itself, the GRAP framework. What is this thing really? For exam purposes, this is the definition you want to lock in. GRAP is a set of emergency measures. It's not some general year-round policy. It's a very specific, step-by-step action plan that gets triggered only to stop bad air from getting catastrophically worse. So how does this system actually work? How are these actions organized to fight off different levels of air pollution?
Okay, this table right here, this is pure gold for your notes. It lays out the whole structure so clearly. You've got stage 1 for poor air, when the AQI is between 201 and 300. Stage 2 kicks in for very poor, that's 301 to 400. Stage 3 is for severe air, from 401 to 450. And finally, stage 4 is the severe plus emergency, for anything over 450.
And these 3 principles are basically what make GRAP so effective. First, as we said, it's proactive. It acts on forecasts. Second, it's cumulative. This is important. When stage 2 is triggered, all the rules from stage 1 are still in place. They just keep adding on. And third, it's dynamic, meaning the CAQM is constantly reviewing the situation.
All right, let's start breaking down the stages, starting with stage 1. This is the first line of defense, triggered when the air enters the poor category.
Stage 1 is all about the fundamentals. You can think of it as just tightening the screws on the rules that should already be in place. We're talking about enforcing dust control at construction sites, cracking down on open waste burning, managing traffic better, being stricter about pollution under control norms, and really enforcing that ban on firecrackers.
But what happens when the forecast says things are about to get a lot worse? Well, we enter stage 2, designed for very poor air. And here, the actions definitely get more intense. Now remember, all the stage 1 rules are still active. On top of that, stage 2 brings in daily mechanized road sweeping. It starts to regulate the use of diesel generators. It jacks up parking fees to get you to think twice about driving your car. And it increases the frequency of public transport.
Okay, here's a little memory hack for your exam prep. To remember the key new things in stage 2, just picture this scene. You're in a massive car park, which reminds you of the higher parking fees. In this car park, you see mechanical vacuums doing a ton of sweeping. And in the background, you can hear the loud hum of a diesel generator, reminding you of the new regulations on them.
All right, now we're moving into the red zone. Stages 3 and 4 are for when the air quality becomes severe or worse. This is when the really drastic measures come out. Stage 3 gets triggered when the AQI is between 401 and 450. And the focus here shifts to 2 of the biggest polluters, large-scale construction and certain types of vehicles. And the actions get seriously strict. We're talking a halt to most construction and demolition or C&D activities. Stone crushers and mining operations, they're shut down. And pay close attention to the vehicle rules. Older BS3 petrol and BS4 diesel four-wheelers are restricted. Plus, states might even decide to close primary schools.
And yep, we've got another easy mnemonic for you. For stage 3, just remember the word cars. C is for the construction ban, A is for the automobile restrictions, R is for the halt on rock crushing, and S is for when schools might have to close. Simple, right?
This slide is great because it shows you exactly how the vehicle restrictions escalate. In stage 3, it's about restricting some older private cars. But in stage 4, things get way tougher. You see a near total ban on trucks entering Delhi and a ban on older, Delhi-registered commercial diesel vehicles. Stage 4 is the highest possible alert when the AQI goes above 450. At this point, even major public projects like highways and flyovers are stopped. We might see online classes for older students, and offices could be ordered to work at 50% capacity. The state might even roll out the odd-even scheme. This is a full-blown public health emergency response.
Okay, we have made it through all 4 stages. Now, let's bring it all home and consolidate everything into one powerful revision guide.
This last slide is your ultimate cheat sheet. So let's recap. GRAP stands for Graded Response Action Plan. It's implemented by the CAQM. Its core principle is acting on AQI forecasts. Stage 1 is about basic enforcement. Stage 2 is where they hike parking fees and regulate generators. Stage 3 brings the big ban on C&D in specific cars. And Stage 4 is the emergency level with a ban on truck entry and work-from-home orders. Master these points, know your jargon, and you will be more than ready for any question on GRAP. All the best with your prep.